Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, they thought that they would have a fun little road trip. Unfortunately, what they found was hell. My god, how many of these movies start with just an innocent road trip, huh? Anyways, tonight's movie, House of a Thousand Corpses.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, worst apocalypse ever. Yeah. Oh my god, the delirium. Oh my god, the delirium. Episode 12! Episode 12. We are motoring on. Motoring. Okay. Enough of that. Anyways, after last night's 80s slasherific goodness, that is the Slumber Party Massacre, I thought, you know what? I am going to review the 3 Rob Zombie movies, I guess you would call them the Devil's Rejects trilogy. And I'm doing it in honor of the late, great Sid Haig. These are the movies that I have that he's in, that are in my collection. And so I thought, you know what, only be fitting to go through them. And yeah, so let's start off with the first one. It's Rob Zombie's, I believe, directorial debut when it comes to motion pictures. And that is House of a Thousand Corpses. Yes, House of a Thousand Corpses. So what is House of a Thousand Corpses about? Well, it is about a group of friends who are traveling to one of the girls' I guess, father's house. And they're also they're trying to write a book about these little roadside, I don't know how you say, roadside attractions that you find throughout the great United States of America. And they happen to fall upon one here run by a clown named Spaulding. And let's say they find some very interesting things, plus a nice little ride, kind of like It's a Small World after all, except it's a small world for psychopaths. And they learn about the evil Dr. Satan, who is a local monster who experimented on patients at an insane asylum. And they say that he was hung from a certain tree not far away. And of course, one of the friends who's really gung-ho about this wants to go see that tree. And so the Spaulding writes him a map and says, yeah, there you go. And of course, the rains come out from nowhere. They're out in the dark, unfamiliar territory, and they see someone who looks like a hitchhiker, some blonde girl. So they have to pick her up, and she's like, yeah, I just live down the road. Thank you, all that stuff. And then some guy wearing bearskin shoots out their tire. Of course, they think that the tire just blew. They don't have a spare because one of the guys is an idiot. And so the girl they picked up says, we can go to the house. And my brother, he's got a tow truck, tow the car. Anyways, they end up at the house. And the house is really weird, really strange. Everyone there is super eccentric and crazy-ish. And let's say they have dinner, there's a show. One of the girls doesn't like the blonde, I think her name is Baby in this movie, kind of getting a little too close to her boyfriend. Words are said, they say, well, we're leaving, and of course, they're not allowed to leave. No, they are kidnapped, basically, and tortured, and so they don't make it to the father's house. The father gets the police involved because he's like, they should have been here investigating. What it is a struggle a struggle to survive the house that has 1,000 corpses. So let's get on to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore. I am giving it a 3.5 out of 5. There is some pretty good bloody mess stuff going on here. Some dismemberments, but honestly, it doesn't feel as super gross and disgusting as it could have been. There has been some things like with how they go to negative, or they kind of mess with the camera, get a lot of fuzz and whatnot to maybe mitigate that in some ways. But still pretty gory, pretty bloody. 3.5 out of 5. Shock value is a 2 out of 5. There are a few jump scares, but most of the shock is in the depravity and inhumanity and the insanity of this family and the situations that are going through. Though, honestly, I think maybe there could have been something done to maybe dial back a little bit on some of the things and expand on a little other things to get a little bit more impact here. But still, you know, it is what it is. 2 out of 5. Plot, oh man, plot, I am going to give this a 2 out of 5. It is pretty standard Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque type of situation going on. Though they don't seem very cannibalistic, but the whole thing about, you know, a group of friends, they get stranded, place they don't know, they end up upon this house, the house is filled with psychopaths, and they are, you know, trying to survive the onslaught of the psychopaths. The problem with this movie is that the characters of, like, I don't know how to say, the friends, they are just really poorly developed, and we don't really get that person that we are, you know, clinging on to, the person that we attach ourselves to as, okay, this is the person we're invested in, this is, you know, the person we're rooting for, this is the person we're living this movie vicariously through. We just never get that. We get a sense of the characters, but a lot of, like, you know, the one guy is just, like, freaking, just, like, kind of, like, over nuts, you know, like, super excited about everything and just seems loud and obnoxious. The other guy with the glasses, you know, just very, just, you know, just average there. And the two girls, I mean, one seems okay nice, and the other seems like a pretty bitchy. I mean, pretty bitchy, whiny, complaining, someone that you're just not, like, really liking or relating to. So you have really nothing in this movie to, you know, just latch onto. And I think that does not serve the plot very well and doesn't give the impact of the deaths and the torture as much as it would be if we had more relation to these characters, some more sympathy towards these characters. And I don't know, maybe it's designed that we're supposed to be latching on to the killer family. I don't know, but they are just apeshit psychos. So anyways, I think that is one of the failures of this movie's plot, is that we don't get that, and it does hurt the film overall. So 2 out of 5 for plot. Acting, I am going to also give this a 2 out of 5. Not that Sid Haig's performance as the wise cracking clown, he is wonderful in this movie. It's just everybody else is just 1,000. Like, we need you to be at 100 and they're at 1,000. Like, everyone's performance, like, from the guy who's like, oh, he's just, like, too much. Like, too much. You need to scale it back. It's almost like exaggerated versions of these people. Yeah, the rest of the friends, not as insane, but like, I mean, the character of Baby is just so over the top. Otis, from time to time, he's just like over the top. The guy is the grandfather, whatever. He's just, I don't know. It's just too hammy. I don't know. It's just too much. It's too wild. It's not grounded enough, and it really just doesn't work as well as it could because of that. So I'm just going to give it a 2 out of 5 for the plot. or no, I'm sorry, for acting, my bad. Nudity, I am going to be giving it a 1.5 out of 5 because a lot of it is like, there's like all this editing, cuts and whatnot. And yeah, there's some tittiness in those. It's very brief here and there, here and there. In the beginning, they're Spalding and some guy are arguing about this pinup that has like words on it, making it not worth as much. And also you get some of the some dead victims. I think what were these cheerleaders that were kidnapped before. We get these stories about these missing cheerleaders, and so of course let's keep driving into places that we don't know, searching for a hanging tree. Yeah, sounds smart. Anyways, so not a lot of it, not all that much quality, but there is some there. So 1.5 out of 5. And now we go on to enjoyment factor. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. This movie has instances of greatness. I can see in the core of this movie a good movie, maybe even a great movie that is trying to get out. However, just some of the things in this movie just hold it back from the bad character development, the overacting, and then Rob Zombie's just, I don't know, his excesses of cutting in all these things, going into negative shots, negative where they, negative colors. And it really is just jarring, and it takes you out of the picture, and it really kind of starts killing some of the vibe. It seems very, say like late 90s, early 2000s MTV music video type of stuff. And yeah, it's his first major film, and he's learning, but someone needed to just say, in the editing room, like, hey man, stop, okay? Some of it works, a lot of it doesn't work, and it really kind of kills a lot of the movie in certain spots where it just felt like you're just putting this stuff in there just because you think it's cool, but in the end it doesn't really do anything for the movie and really kind of messes with it. So still enjoyable, still entertaining, just it could have been so much more, and so it kind of becomes like a disappointment. It's a frustrating movie for me to watch because of those things. Anyways, but still, 3 out of 5. My overall impression, though, is a 2.5 out of 5. Like I said, the issues with this film are just so much that it buries what could be something ridiculously great. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's why I don't think that the gore and the violence are as impactful as they could have been, because of all this other ancillary stuff. I mean, there are scenes where you're watching like, this is good, this is great. When the police officers get to the house and there's the, they're getting shot at, not to try to spoil things, but the way that's done with the music and the sort of slow motion, it's like, that works. But then there's other things where it's just, you're fucking it up, man. You're fucking it up. So, I don't know. Oh my god. I threw, oh shit. Anyways, see, it's gotten to me. Anyways, 2.5 out of 5 is my overall impression, and that averages out to a 2.4 out of 5. Yes, disappointing. I mean, it's not bad. It's kind of good. It could almost be really good or great, and it just, yeah, falls apart. Anyways, that's my review of House of a Thousand Corpses. And yeah, so tell me what you think. Have you seen the movie? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you like it? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I know no one will, but whatever. I'm just going to say it anyways. Don't forget to do all the stuff that I always say at the end of the videos, because I know you guys don't do it anyways, but I'm supposed to say it because that's YouTube, right? It's like rules. It's like, okay, yes, YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. and yeah, all that good stuff. Whew. Anyways, I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror as I continue to just become delirious and lose all sense of reality. But until then, you guys stay scary, internet, and remember, if you're hearing stories about missing cheerleaders and crazy local murder psychopath myths, and it's late at night and it starts raining really bad and you're not familiar with your surroundings, you know what? It might just be a good idea to just call it a night and go home, right? Just call it a night, go home. Don't pick up the hitchhikers, turn around, don't go find, you can find the noose tree later, you know where that place is. Come back in the day when you can see what the hell you're doing. I mean, sure, you're probably still going to get murked anyways. Maybe just forget about it, right? Anyways, yeah!